You can get a trust for your pet. You can get a trust for your car. You can get a trust for your house. You can get a trust for anything.
Okay.
A lot of people think that they have to go to attorneys. You could start a trust with as little as $1 and you can set up your own trust.
Man, welcome to another episode of Real Shit Let's Talk podcast. Listen, this is a trust coach strategist. We're about to get some good tips, about to get it in real quick with Miss Christina. Nice to meet you. How you doing?
Nice to meet you too. I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here.
Tell the people what it is that you actually do and break it down for me real quick.
I will. I'll let them know. So like he said, I'm a trust strategist, right? So I help people protect their assets using a trust. Everybody needs a trust, right? Because once you die, the city and state where you live, they create one for you. So you might as well create one while you're living. So I help people create it while they're living.
I love that. How long you been doing it?
So I've been doing it full time for 3 years and I've been a trustee since 2015. So for 9 years total.
So is there a set number that you can number of trust that you can have by chance?
No, people could have unlimited trust. So that's the way that it's designed. It's designed, one, the trust is designed to outlive you. Two, you want to have multiple trusts. You don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket. So that means that you don't want to put all of your assets in one trust. So get ready to create a bunch of different trusts.
So it's like trust, I can get a trust for my animals and different things?
You can get a trust for your pet. You can get a trust for your car. You can get a trust for your house. You can get a trust for anything.
How's that process? Is it long and tedious? Like I got to pay some money and do all this other stuff. Is it costly, or is there an efficient way where I won't have to spend so much money, but over time it will balance out?
That's such a good question. So with a trust, a lot of people don't know, and this is a hack. A lot of people don't know that they could set up their own trust.
Okay.
A lot of people think that they have to go to attorneys and that they got to spend thousands of dollars, like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to get a trust. But in fact, you don't. And people think, oh, I need to have $1 million before I could even get a trust. That's not true either. You could start a trust with as little as $1 and you can set up your own trust. Why? Because a trust is a contract. So we know that we could set up our own contracts. Me and you could create a contract right now if we wanted to. We don't need an attorney in order to do it for us, right?
Right.
And it's still going to be set in stone and could be, we could go to court with it and everything like that. So it's the same thing with a trust. So we could actually create an oral trust between us right now. You only need 2 people in order to create a trust.
Now that's something I can just write on a napkin and that can be held accountable. Like that's like I can say, hey, here's my trust, and because we agreed and I wrote on a napkin, it's going to be liable to hold up in court?
Yes, it can. I personally wouldn't tell anybody to do it orally or to do it on a napkin. So I'm telling people, get your stuff in order. So do it on paper, like a contract, black and white, get it signed, get it notarized, and you want to then operate it correctly.
So there's steps to it, but like you said, get it on paper and then get it notarized.
Yeah.
And then once it's notarized, then it's an official document.
It is an official document. So once it's notarized, it needs to be notarized by 2 people, by the grantor and the trustee. So you need 2 people to make the agreement. Once their signatures are notarized, it's legal and you can start using it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go and set up that trust bank account. That's what you call a trust fund. Whenever you hear it out here in society, that's that trust fund. And so go ahead and put some money in that trust fund. So
there's a set number that I need to put in there in order to keep it going?
So it depends on the bank, right? Okay. Some banks, they require as little as $100. Some other financial institutions like Charles Schwab and all these other big banks, they require like thousands. So like $3,000 to $5,000. But normally it only costs about $100 for you to open up your account.
And then we can, like you said before, we can open as many trusts as we want. It's unlimited.
Yes, it's unlimited. So you can start setting them up right now. You can have 200 trusts if you want to.
So is it best to set up, like, let's say for our kids?
Yes. Okay. All right. You pulling out the information. I love it. Yes. So you want, yes, you want your kids to have their own trust. So you want to have a family trust, and then the beneficiaries of your family trust is going to be your kids' trust. So you can make your children the beneficiaries, which is fine, because once your trust is dissolved, then that means that all those assets go to your kids, but then that's going to put them at risk because they can get sued and somebody could take their assets. So then those assets could then be transferred to their personal trust. So yes, you definitely want to, especially like if your kids are like out here and they got like businesses and stuff or YouTube channels, or they doing something, like you want to start setting out that foundation for them the right way.
You mentioned something. You said dissolves. What does that mean? A trust dissolves. What does that mean?
Yeah, so that means that the trust is going to expire at some point in time. So the trust is not indefinite. It's not forever. So once you set it up, you're going to determine how long you want this trust to exist for. So usually we want it to exist for as long as possible. So we'll put something like 100 years. And so now when that 100-year mark comes up, guess what? It's up to the person whoever takes over after you. It's up to them to renew the trust for another 100 years. That's how you set up that generational wealth to last years and years and years, generations and generations and generations.
So we get with certain banks. This is what I understand. We get with a bank. We say, hey, I want to open up a trust fund bank account that potentially, if we own businesses, we can actually become our own bank through the trust and turn around. We pretty much leverage other people's money and still run the trust, but we're funding the trust. And the trust is also, let's say if we had life insurance, we have trust to life insurance, or life insurance to trust to the business to all the assets and everything, but it's feeding in like a circle of motion. Is that something like that?
Yeah. And so that circle of motion we call the circle of trust. So that's definitely what you want to do. So you want to become your own bank. You want to have a whole private banking system where you tie your trust to your insurance policies. So now your trust is going to be the owner of your policy. The trust is going to be responsible for paying that premium, and the trust is going to be the beneficiaries. But the policies are going to be under us because we're the living people. So if anything happens to us, guess what? That $2-3 million, it goes to the trust. The trust is replenished, and then you keep circulating that money. It keeps going around for generations and generations and being preserved in your estate.
Keep the money in the family.
Yeah, you got to.
What got you to this point to be a trust coach?
So I was in real estate, right? So before I was in real estate, I was a nurse, and I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was tired of the rat race. It was just exhausting for me. So I just kept thinking, okay, there's another way of doing this. I'm like, motivated with financial freedom. How can I find this way out, right? And so I gave myself an expiration date. I said, I'm only going to be in this nursing job for like 10 years, right? And so what I did was I actually went to a seminar where they was teaching about how to flip houses. So I got into real estate, right? I used all my little nursing money to get into real estate. So I paid a real estate coach to teach me how to do the whole coaching thing, to teach me how to go flip houses. But in the middle of that, my coach told me that I needed to set up a trust. Why? Because I had bought this little property. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath property. And he said, anybody could snatch that property from you. You young, you 25, you've never even done this before. You don't even got no experience. So if somebody slips and falls in that house, guess what? They can sue you and take the house from you. And I'm like, I don't want that to happen. I'm just getting into the game. So I went and put that property into a trust. And I started operating as a trustee, learning the ins and outs of it. And a couple years later, I started teaching other people how to do it.
Hey, I mean, that sounds like a certified plan right there. Listen, at 25, I had a plan. That's what it sounds like. Like, would you find yourself, like, do you because you say strategy and strategize, did that everything align with how you want it to be when you was like working out? You was like, yo, I'm going for real estate now. I'm going to be a trustee and all this other stuff. Are you happy?
Well, no, yeah, I am. I'm happy. I'm happy, but it wasn't like it wasn't aligned to like what I thought. I wasn't thinking about this. No, I thought I was going to be knee deep into real estate. I didn't think that I was going to start teaching other people how to do it. What actually threw me into this was COVID and me actually leaving my career, because what I was doing was I was doing nursing and I was doing real estate. So I was flipping houses, making good money, sometimes even 6 figures off of these deals. And then I was doing nursing. But then when COVID came, I was like, nah, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to bring COVID to my family. Like, I need to walk away. So I actually walked away from my career because I saw how they was pretty much experimenting on patients. They didn't know what the hell was going on.
Speak that shit. What they was doing?
No.
What they were doing in the hospitals?
Yes,
we want to know.
No, that's the truth though. They was experimenting. They was throwing all kind of antibiotics, antifungal, all kind of stuff. Any kind of medication, they just take it off the shelf and throw it to them because nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew what COVID was, and they didn't know how to treat it. And so I was seeing patients die left and right, and I was like, I'm not gonna be a part of this. I can't. And so I left. I left the hospital July 4th of 2020 and never looked back. And that's what threw me into actually going full force into my career, because now I didn't have a paycheck in order to fall back on.
Just in 21 days, you know that you can change your habits. You know that you can make achievable goals. You can crush those goals. Well, guess what, man? I have a 21-day accountability challenge workbook that'll help you get to the next level, make you be the man or woman and go to the places that you determined to go. Guess what? The struggle is over. 21-day accountability challenge book is here.
You even still listen to your kids?
Huh?
You still listen to your child or your kids?
Do I still listen to them?
Do you instill?
Oh, yes, I do. I mean, I instill entrepreneurship into my kids. So I have 3 kids. My 2 baby girls, they have a YouTube channel. And so they know that their 9 to 5 is vlogging, right? And so they take their little camera and they start vlogging and blogging. And I have somebody that comes and throws their videos up on their channel. My 12-year-old right now, he's looking into vending machines. So he's looking into vending machines. He's looking into, cutting grass, things like that. But he's already having the entrepreneur spirit. So.
And then now you're going to put all of them under the trust?
Yeah, they're already there. They're already there. They got custodial accounts and they got index universal life insurance policies. They set.
What's custodial accounts?
So custodial accounts is where you can invest in the stock market and what you're going to do is you have a custodial account. So you as a parent are the custodian. You open up a brokerage account for your child because usually you can't do it as a minor, but you want to invest in stocks for them. So I'm the custodian. I open up a brokerage account for them. And then now I get to invest in stocks. They own the actual account, but they're not going to get possession of it until they're 18 years old. And so now they own stocks.
So let me ask you this. If they did not want to follow that entrepreneurial way and they wanted to go to college to be a doctor, or your girls wanted to form and go into nursing, would you let them?
Yes, I would definitely let them, choose whatever career path they want, as long as they're educated and get the experience that they need. Absolutely. I'm not against it. I personally would take another route. I wouldn't go down the college route because I don't feel like college equals success. But if they want to, by all means.
I like that. If you could go back, since you had a 25-year-old plan, but if you can go back to your 18-year-old self, one thing that you would change, or one thing like that would pave the way forward?
Yeah, that's a really good question. One thing that I think about all the time is when I was 18, right, I just started going to college, right? And I had a full ride scholarship. So my university, they was giving me every single semester, they was giving me $6,000. So that was supposed to cover my room and board, food, and all this stuff. But to be honest with you, I was wasting the money. I was blowing it on whatever I wanted. I was going on little, day trips, all kind of little vacays, everything, right? Food, all kind of stuff. So personally, what I would do now, looking back, is I would have got the index universal life insurance policy early on when I was 18, because one of the things about that policy is that you get to compound, right? So that's like one of the ways that you can, become financially free quicker is by earning that compound interest. And so if you're younger, then you get to enjoy more of that compounding earlier. So I'm like, that's one thing. Instead of me wasting my money when I was 18, I would have rather invested it.
I'd like to say, like, it seems like the transitions that you've done has really, really made you successful. And so you teach people and you coach as well. How often do you do that?
Oh my gosh. So I do a monthly workshop, right? So every single month, and this week was actually my workshop week. So every single month I do it to where I help people get everything done in 1 week, right? So like, I don't want to tie my time to my business and I don't want to be trapped in my business. So that's why I do it every 4 weeks. And every 4 weeks I have an entire workshop week where I teach 3 hours per day and I teach them how to set up a trust. So in my program, I teach them how to set up 3 trusts: a business trust if they're entrepreneurs and business owners. I teach them how to set it up to where it's a holding company and that business trust can then own their LLCs. And then I teach them how to set up a family trust on Tuesday. So the business trust is on Mondays. On Tuesdays, I teach them how to set up a family trust so that they can own all their personal assets, like their cars and jewelry and houses and stuff like that. And then on Wednesdays, I teach them how to set up a nonprofit trust so that they can reduce their taxes. Because that's one of the hacks, right? If you actually want to be successful, you need to reduce your tax liability. You can't just be out here giving the government half of your income, right? So I teach them how to set up their nonprofit so that they can reduce their taxes. And then I teach them on Thursdays, I teach them how to open up the bank accounts for the trust. And then on Fridays, I teach them how to transfer the assets into the trust. So it's a lot of educating. That's why I only do it once a month.
And that allows you, so 3 weeks, that allows you to be free for 3 weeks.
Yes.
But you get 3 weeks of freedom.
Yes, I get 3 weeks of freedom, but I call it marketing. So I do organic marketing in my business. I don't run ads or anything. So it's all marketing for me. So I host like weekly workshops. I mean, not workshops. I host weekly webinars where I'm just showing people the steps that they need to take. But they need to come to my workshop in order for me to give them the templates so that they can actually learn like the ins and outs.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
And you got a whole bank system in itself. Like damn.
Yeah, people, they need to be their own bank instead of giving their money to the bank and make the banks richer. That's what y'all doing. Y'all paycheck goes straight to the bank, and then the bank is then lending it out for mortgages and credit cards and car loans, and then what? They getting richer and we not. How much is the bank giving us?
Like, it's barely 0.1% or something.
Exactly. Like almost nothing. Let's just keep it real.
Well, yeah.
Right.
So I would say this. What I'm learning is that basically it's better to have a strategy about your life, have a plan, have a goal, and you can start at any age. But primarily, since you can't do anything like at 16 and 17, 18 years old, you start.
Yeah.
So by 25, everything else is just laid out pretty much. And then when you get close to your 30s, then you're like, hey, boom, I pretty much got my life mapped out. Do you see yourself doing these workshops like continuously for life, or you want to stop at a point?
At some point I want to stop. So at some point I want to stop and I want to enjoy my free life and travel the world and not have to be tied to my business and doing these workshops. So that's why my plan B is, well, it's not even a plan B, but I created a course. So everything that I teach them inside of the workshop is recorded. And then I have a course. So they still gonna get the information if I don't show up live, because I'm thinking about, in the future, 10 years into the future, I'm not going to be wanting to show up live. I'm going to be wanting to enjoy my wealth and just chill on the beach somewhere.
Facts. Okay. I like that. I like that. So basically automated things. Just have them automated and then people could just pay you like that and you're still making money.
I love it. Yeah. Like a evergreen course. Like I created one time and boom, I get paid for the rest of my life. I don't have to show up live.
She's got it set.
Yeah.
She's got it set. She's got it set.
Yeah.
Listen. Well, it seems like you hold yourself accountable all things and all platforms that you do. And like I said, listen, you Miss Extraordinary. I'm just gonna say that, just Miss Extraordinary.
Thank you.
You laid out the foundations of how to be fundamentally financially straight and then fundamentally okay for life. Like, and that's like, man, you gave some hacks there, man. We need to get in touch with you. But how can we get in touch with you? Where can we find you? And all your social media handles.
Yes, absolutely. So once again, my name is Christina Yvette. So you can find me on all social media handles at I am Christina Yvette, right? So Yvette is Ivette. So you can find me there on Instagram. My YouTube channel is Christina Yvette, but then you can also find my business channel, which is the number 7 Ways to Wealth. Okay, so that is how you can find me. And you can also visit my website if you guys are interested in the trust. So it's wealthytrusty.com, you guys. So I'm super excited to get in contact with you guys.
But listen, I thank you. Like, I want to say too, like, the strategies that you've given us is like, it's going to help somebody. And then it's also going to put us ahead and help those less fortunate people. But I think now, the people that you do teach, is it a vast majority of like just Black people, or is it all different genres?
Yeah, so I would definitely say majority of my community. So right now my community is over 500 people, and majority, I would tell you like 90% of them are Black people, right? So it's us, the Black community. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what I'm doing it for, to be honest with you, because what I've noticed by being in this industry for so many years is that us, the Black community, our kids are losing their inheritance. And so that's why I'm so adamant about teaching our community, because now I'm teaching them, hey, put your house into a trust so that your kids don't end up in probate and having to fight each other or fight through the court system to keep your house. So do it this way, get your affairs in order, because you already know that you want your kids to get their inheritance. So don't force them to have to go to court. So that's why I do everything that I do. Like, it is for the Black community, but there are other people in my community as well.
Do you think that one day you like speak on stages or host like big like summits or type of ordeal?
Yeah, so I speak on stages right now. They're not as big as those big conferences. Mm-hmm. So I do stuff on a smaller scale, but I'm hoping that I can go global with it. So international, I'm actually going to Africa in November in Nigeria, and I'm going to be on a panel there. So that's like the first step towards going global. But I definitely want to be able to share this information all over the world and have these big summits as well, to where people can come in and learn how to build wealth like the 1%, but how to keep it and preserve it.
I like that. I like that for you. That makes, man, you about to be lights and everything. So today's price ain't gonna be tomorrow's price. Hey, you just gonna go up on the bag?
No, I'm gonna keep it the way that it is, because the price that I charge right now is the price that God gave me, and He didn't give me no instructions to raise it.
Amen to that. That's the first time I heard somebody say today, but you know the little saying, today's price ain't tomorrow's price. She's like, I'm staying the same. God gave me this. Man, dang.
That's the truth, okay?
Yeah, I like it.
Right.
Okay, so now with all this, did you go to Invest Fest?
Yeah, I did. I went for one day. I went on Sunday.
Okay, how'd you like it?
I loved it. I saw all the GOATs. I saw Steve Harvey, Damon John, 50 Cent, all of them. It was pretty cool.
Did you get to talk to anybody in network?
I talked to a bunch of entrepreneurs, but I didn't get to talk to the heavy hitters. Yeah.
Well, sounds like you got some more networking to do, right?
Yeah. I talked to a bunch of entrepreneurs in the marketplace, and I was glad to connect with them. So I'm going to help them set up a business trust.
So how much does it cost to set up one business trust? Just, you said put $100? Like put $100 in there? And
yeah, you can set it. Yeah, you could just put $100 in there. But how much I charge is $2,500. So if you want me to help you, and I think that's affordable because some people out here, they charging 40 stacks.
40 racks for this help.
Yes. And they don't even help you the way I help you. Okay. Let's just keep it real. They charging 40 and 50,000 and you walking away with just a stack of papers that you don't even know what to do with. I walk you through the whole process. I hold your hand. You got me for life.
Well, dang, 2,500 versus 40 stacks. I'll take the 2,500 any day. Then. That'll be the.
Me too.
That's the hack right there.
Yeah, me too.
That's wow. Damn, I'm trying to think. I'm doing the math in my head. Shoot, I'd have made 40 stacks then. But let me say this. So, how do you find time to separate your personal from your business?
I gotta have boundaries. So that's definitely what I do. I have to have boundaries in my business. Why? Because I'm a mom. I'm a full-time mom. Mm-hmm. And so I need to separate my personal life from my business life. So I only operate my business from 9 o'clock in the morning until 2 p.m. And then after that is all family time after 2 p.m. But before I even start my business, I have me time. So I'll drop my kids off to school and then I'll meditate, I'll journal, I'll do my affirmations, get my mindset ready, and then I'll clock in. Like mentally, you gotta think that way, right? You gotta think like, okay, I'm showing up for my business today. So I clock in mentally for work and I start, doing what I need to do for my business. And then by that 2 o'clock point comes, it is I'm real strict. So I cut it off and then I go get my kids and I spend quality time with them until they go to bed. So boundaries is super important when you're in business.
Do you have a team?
I do. I have a team of 5. So I have a COO. She helps me run the entire organization. And then I have a virtual assistant that she does everything that I need her to do. I have a social media manager that posts on all of my social medias. I have a YouTube manager that he just only focuses on video editing and YouTube. And then I have a lead gen specialist that focus on bringing the leads into my business since I don't do any ads.
Okay, you got it all set. Shoot, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
That part.
So you don't really have to really do much. You just wake up. Hey, 9 o'clock. Clocking in.
Right.
2 p.m. Hey, guys, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Whether you got it complete or not, I'm done.
Yeah.
Listen, from Podcast Summit to now, I didn't know none of this. And now you just you drop so many nuggets, so many gems, so many things that just blew my mind. It made me think twice. It's we need to build more trust around in the culture, build more trust in the culture and figure out how to go and use the other people's money method, but tie that into life insurance and then keep building so that you don't have to work. So you do have that time. So you don't have a 9 to 5, you have a 9 to 2.
Yeah, I do.
And so now is this 365 or you have a few months that you just actually shut down?
So I only do Monday through Friday. And then sometimes I occasionally take a couple weeks off for vacation. So I'm actually leaving to Italy on Monday and I'm gonna be gone for 16 days. So I'm going to leave everything for my COO to run it. So that's why I only do my fulfillment in my business every 4 weeks. So that in the meantime, if there's something that I need to do and I need some flexibility, I'll do it in those other weeks.
You got a plan and a strategy.
Yeah.
Listen, I have to say this. Women that I have had on my podcast or talked to, you guys have a strategy out this world that just makes it, hey guys, we got to step it up. Besides Tevin, Mr. Chapo right here, he's got a whole methodology, you know what I'm saying? And D Boogie, he has a methodology. But man, I got some work to do. That's what I'm saying. Long story short, I got some work to do. But we got to step it up though. And I think too, I guess I don't know how often you go live, but I think too, to add as a extra strategy, I think men would love to see you go live and talk about it more, and not just saying we're just targeting men, but just we don't know. Because I know nothing. I knew a little bit, but I didn't know a lot. Yeah. And then you dropped a lot of nuggets and a lot of gems, and what you've done is consolidated the full work day of a full work schedule of running this business, doing this and going here to just 9 to 2. And then the rest of the hours from 2 to whatever time your kids go to sleep or whatever, you have that available free time. You're not answering emails, you're not answering phone calls, you're not moving here or going here. I think that's another strategy that I would like to inherit, because then it allows me to do what I need to do on the business side, and then financially everything else taken care of. And so it's so many different things and tips. So man, I'd say, shoot, I like it. I like to say, man, damn, shoot, you done got me tongue tied up in this thing. But but this is why I created this 21-day accountability workbook challenge, right? And so what I've done in 3 weeks, I guarantee you to change your habits, measurable goals, and achieve those goals, and executing every day to the fullest and the best of your ability. Wow. And I have several testimonies about it and have went through it. And I got the next one starting on September the 1st of the next 21-day challenge. And I also have an accountability community that basically is like-minded people that come together, of course, with me in it. And we have daily challenges, big wins, JR's gyms, different little things of that nature. And we build upon each other. And it's a free open space to talk, but it is a paid community.
Wow, I love that.
So in that paid community, I look forward to change for the masses. And so hearing that, I would love to get people like you, people like Chaz, people like Tevin, and come through. Hey guys, listen, this week I got a couple people that want to come through, and you might spend 15 minutes. Hey, listen, they're going to say this, everything you need to know in 15 minutes.
Yes.
And then it's over, and get these gems, because I think that people aren't necessarily ready for it.
Yeah.
They have to get ready for it.
Yep,
you have to make them ready for it. You have to be like, yo, you need this, and this is why. I can help with this, that, and the third, and we're going to get the results. But with this 3-week challenge, man, every day has been challenging. I did it this August here, and I've completed and executed everything that I put in this book.
Wow,
and so
that's so powerful.
So I've learned that listening. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I had some coaches around me, because Tevin coached me, Chaz coached me, Six Civic Strategist coached me, D Boogie coached me. A lot of people have said some things that along the way that it was a rough month, but things that they said I had to implement and execute because I wanted to see them in myself. And so listening to the 7 ways of wealth strategy is okay, I need to get to that point. So now I need to be able to use other people's money. Then I need to be able to grow here and then take less of the stress of clocking in 9 to 5. Not to say anything's wrong with people in their 9 to 5s,
right? Because
some people have it set up and made in the shade.
Yep.
Some people slay them, but hey, get it how you live. That's how I look at it. The philosophy is, but everybody has something that can help get them to the next level. But I think learning the 7 ways of wealth, that would be definitely helping. And since you do all your own marketing. But listen, y'all, this has been another exclusive episode where I met her about a month ago.
Yeah.
About a month ago. And
4th of July.
Yep, 4th of July.
Yeah.
And I asked, she said she could do it. And then we just end up networking. And I never really understood all the fundamentals of the business. But as she broke it down today, man, listen, you learn something and stay inspired and be inspired. And listen, man, y'all tune in to Real Shit Let's Talk podcast. Yeah, we out.